Hey guys, welcome to week 29 of the Virtus Performance Podcast. Before we get stuck in today's episode, I'd love to thank all you guys for listening. I'd really enjoy it if you could share and subscribe and review and do all that stuff. If you get around our Facebook and Instagram and YouTube channels, you'll be able to learn a little bit more about Virtus and what we do. If you have any questions or queries or anything you'd like to, suggest for the podcast or ask about the podcast, feel free to shoot me an email at info@virtusperformance.com. Today I sat down with Mitch Rowe, one of our performance coaches here at Virtus, Rowie, Ponch as he's also known. We spoke about how he got into being a performance coach. We spoke about him growing up. We spoke about his really exciting next 12, 18 months he's got coming up, why he's able to have such a mature head on his very short stature shoulders and I guess the things that allow him to be way ahead of where I was at when I was his age. So he's a lovely human. He's one of my favourite people in the world, and he's, I'm lucky enough to have him as a coach at Virtus because he kind of just didn't leave. So hopefully you guys do the same thing for this podcast and stick it out the whole time. If you don't, have a wonderful evening. Enjoy. My personal and business goal is to be just a little bit better every day. I believe everyone, especially normal people, have a story to tell. The Virtus podcast exists to help us all find small ways of consistent improvement by discussing the journey and experiences of each of our guests. Mitchell Rowe, welcome to the Virtus Performance Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming, mate. After a long day coaching. How long ago did you start?
What is it? 8 o'clock?
14 hours?
14 hours, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, couple.
Well, hopefully you're somewhat coherent over the next hour or so.
I'm sure the beverages alongside us will help.
You'll be fine. First question for you. What gets you out of bed in the morning?
Knowing... I have thought about this one since I listened to pretty much all the other podcasts. So.
You're our biggest fan. You're the only person that's listened to all of them.
I did kind of see this one coming. So. Knowing that I have the ability to change someone's life for the better.
Oh.
Could be for one comment, could be for a sentence, it could be for the session that we do, it could be for the coffee we have after. Anything that I do can help someone that I see in the morning, especially.
Yep.
Could be in the night, could be in the morning, but just knowing that you can make a change that's positive in someone's life.
How does a 20-year-old come to that realisation?
I don't know. I think I probably get a lot of it from my parents, to be fair.
Yeah.
They're very caring and generous people.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. If they listen to it. I actually do think mum and dad listen to these, so...
That's cool.
I better say some nice things.
100%.
No, they're very, very lovely people, and they always put everyone else before them. I think I get that from them a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how that all comes together.
Talk to me about, growing up with your parents, being that really generous, loving, giving people for you and your sister. What was that like?
It was a good way to live. Like having your parents there from primary school into high school, especially in high school years actually. Now I think of it. Because we lived in Pearsall and I was going to school in Frankston, which turned out to be an hour-long bus trip that's a 15-minute trip.
Mm-hmm.
And if something happened, they didn't just leave work and come pick me up from high school or something like that. Knowing that they're there at any time that you need and that they'll just drop everything for you, that's really beneficial for anyone, but it really helped me a lot as well. Especially going from Pearsall to Frankston as well. I think it was probably 8 to 10 people from Pearsall that went to Frankston, so he didn't really know anyone.
Yeah. Coming
to just a brand new environment, it's a huge school. This, I think it's 1,600 kids or something now. So
yeah, it's a pretty big school.
Going from a primary school of 800 where everyone knows everyone, in a very small environment, it's a very small community, to the same thing but not being involved in it before. Being like a kind of fish out of water.
But your parents were able to I guess, support you in all the things you want to do.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like from going from like obviously playing a lot of sport and doing a lot of sport and a lot of other stuff as well. Like having to train in the MCG for cricket, driving an hour up there. Like I was on my L's, didn't drive up there, slept the whole way because I'd be like dead. Slept the whole way. Dad drove, then I'd probably drive home. But just being able to chill out for an hour and just take a snooze.
Yeah,
just little things like that. I think my parents are very much helped me through anything and everything I do in that way. Like they'll always just drop everything for me.
That's really cool, and a lot of people can't say that, and I'm lucky enough to be able to say that as well. That especially you played a lot of sports growing up, so they would have been the taxis to and from those sports.
Yeah, pretty much. And like knowing that Dad, being curious, sits in the car all day as it is, and then he'd sit in the car for another hour each way going up to the city.
Just with the slightly more important package.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, knowing that he sat in the car all day, could have been 40 degrees and he sat in the car, he's been out lifting drums of electrical cords and cables, and then he'll still sit in the car for another hour and a half. I just like snooze in the passenger seat and just drive to the city. No complaints. He'll never ever, Dad will never ever complain about anything.
That's pretty cool.
Unless I don't shut the cupboard. He complains about it. That's another story.
You've got a pretty hectic work ethic, which is probably the reason why I hired you. Maybe.
Or I didn't leave.
You didn't leave, that's true. But do you think that's from your parents as well? Do you think that, I guess?
100%, yeah. I think Mum, when I was growing up, worked minimum 2 jobs. I think it might have even been 3. She was working retail, working in primary school, and then doing other little stuff on the side. And Dad worked at the bank for 25 years, I think. 26 years, somewhere around that, and just got made redundant out of the blue. And just like, within like a month later, he's doing another job. Like, just having both of their work ethics kind of joined into one. I think that's where I get that from. Even though I got most of Mum's genes, but I think I got that.
You got most of Mum's genes. Yeah. Explain that comment.
Yeah. For anyone not listening who doesn't know my mum, or me for that, Mum's probably 5 foot max, pale, slightly red hair, and I copped all of that. So
yeah, you did.
Thanks, Mum.
You did.
Yeah, Cass got the olive skin and the tall and the brown hair from Dad, and I got that from Mum.
And you're both smart asses.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I did also get that from Mum. I definitely got that from my mother.
She gives me more stick than you do, and she's in for like an hour a week.
Yeah, imagine living with it.
I know, mate. It'll be
Why do you think I spend so much time with it?
That's it. There's your work ethic. Talk to me about that positive energy and that positive, I guess, impact you can make on people's lives. Why do you do it? Why do you want to make that positive impact?
That's where I get my enjoyment and my kind of strive to live from.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll always put everyone else before me, and seeing someone improve or someone get better or just enjoy themselves gives me that enjoyment and that self-worth as well. I bounce off people a lot. I like being around people, and I think being able to make that positive change and see their life get better kind of makes me feel good about what I'm doing, and I kind of get that from that. Yeah,
that's really important, and I think it's like for someone so young to already have that mindset, like you've kind of already lived, like I guess the last year or two, you've kind of lived like 5 or 6 years worth of self-development and self-improvement in that really, really short time. Why do you think that is?
I always strive to be not the best, but good at what I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I feel like I'm missing something, then I'll just like go do it. I'm someone that if I want something or if I want to go do something, I'll just go do it. Like I don't really think about all the external other stuff. If I want to get to somewhere, I'll do everything in my power to get towards that. I think that also comes from when I was younger as well. I think Mum can probably attest to that. If I wanted to do something, I'd just go do it.
You didn't really think about the consequences or anything like that. No. You just eyes on the prize, work towards it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it's something a lot of people don't do because of that fear of failure or that fear of doing something wrong or being wrong or making a mistake.
Yeah, and then like you see them kind of get like stuck in a rut. And they just go around in circles and circles and circles. Like, I think something that you said the other day, I think it might have been on Dan Locke's podcast actually, that you kind of just do what you want to do. And I'm very much the same. Like, I'll do everything that I want to do. I'll also do the other stuff, but if I want to go do it, then I'm going to go do it. Like, nothing's going to stop me.
Yeah. That's really cool. It's a really simple way of living, but at the end of the day, you're going to achieve because of it. And I think so many people stop they're like whether they don't have the drive or whether they don't have the ability to deal with failure like you do or things like that, it allows you to actually move forward and do things and just do.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is cool. How'd you tell me what you were like when you were growing up as a kid?
In what way? Yeah, in what way?
What kind of student were you? Were you a pain in the ass or were you a good kid? Or both?
I was probably a good kid, but I had that little bit of pain in the ass in me as well.
Yeah.
And that also comes from my mother.
Mm-hmm.
But I probably didn't, even through high school and uni, I probably didn't do as much work as I possibly could. But I'm very kind of switched on and kind of get things real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I could do half the work as someone else, but probably understand it more than they do. I think I kind of have this, Emma and Laura, who I go to uni with, they hate me for this. I kind of have a way of thinking like a normal person rather than like a student or something that's invested in that learning.
Mm-hmm.
Just thinking like a normal person to understand a concept is something that I pick up really well. And especially through uni, that's what kind of got me through, like obviously working a lot at Virtus, but also going to uni 4 days a week, hour up, hour back, spend 4 hours at uni, not having the time that I would possibly like to put into doing the work.
Yeah.
Having that skill kind of really helped me get through uni and such.
Yeah, because you can just win and spend more time hanging out.
Sometimes I generally feel bad in that way that I can kind of wing things and
jump onto things really quick, latch on.
And like I see other people like work their absolute butts off, and it makes like I feel a little bit bad sometimes.
Yeah, but you work your ass off in other ways.
Yeah.
When you were in high school, what did you want to do when you grew up, or what did you want to be?
I always wanted to do something in sport. Like that was a given, and I always really
sounds familiar.
Yeah. Fair few familiar things here. I always wanted to do something in sport, and I also really liked the science of things and understanding a deeper knowledge. So like straight automatic.
Sports science, Ben.
Yeah, not even actually. I went to physio first.
Did you?
Yeah, that was my first thought. Always was, but I think knowing that I would have had to put in a buttload of hours to get like 96, that probably wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
But knowing that sports science was there, and if I got into Deakin, which is one of the best sports science degrees in the world, if I got into that, then I'd have more of an idea because I knew that was a broader course that kind of didn't specify in one thing, but you got to touch on a lot of little things, which can kind of give you that path. Yeah.
Were you always going to go to uni?
Yeah.
Just was non-negotiable for you?
Yeah, and I was always going to jump straight into it.
Yeah.
Just not just get it done and get it out of the way, like just jump straight in, not take a year off. Like one of my cousins is probably the only other family member that's gone to uni.
Yeah.
And I bounced a few ideas off him, but I was like, no, I want to continue this education and kind of go a little bit further.
That's cool. That's really cool. Because I think, so you never really thought about doing a gap year or anything like that?
No. I knew that I always wanted and always will want to travel. Mm-hmm. And then if I did the degree early, got that done, found a job, worked for a few years, did that, and then I'd be able to travel after, rather than get stuck in being 24 and not finish uni and having to go back and find a job.
The ripe old age of 24.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I know what you
know what I mean.
So let's paint the picture a little bit from high school. So high school straight into an exercise sports science degree. What did you do for work while you were doing that?
A whole lot of little things.
Yeah.
And not the greatest of jobs, but a whole lot of little things. Like I did concrete labouring. Mm-hmm. I worked at Subway for a week. Yeah, I worked at Subway. Yeah, I worked at Subway for a week. I got the hell out of there, but that's another story.
Did you learn how to make sandwiches?
To an extent.
Make me breakfast tomorrow?
Yeah, dreaming. Worked at Subway. What else did I do? I worked for a furniture delivery / removal company. Did that for a while. Nice guys that run the place. Really got along with them really well, so that was enjoyable. Obviously not something I wanted to do forever.
Yeah. And
then a whole lot of little things along the way, like I ran some sports camps, career camps.
Cool.
Did that. I did a little bit of work at Franks and I as well, which I'm still doing, which is good.
Yeah.
What else did I do? I did some Cricket Victoria pathway work with some under 14 squads.
What did those jobs and those little things that you tried, what did they add to your, work ethic or vision in terms of what you wanted to do? Or what did they teach you about yourself?
I think that, the hard work, especially doing the concrete labouring, like anyone who's done a trade or is doing a trade knows it's not easy work, and people just write it off as easy work. But
Yeah.
being in there and doing it, like knowing that it's not an easy
Busting
thing to
your balls.
not shovel concrete around for
Yeah.
8 hours a
I
day,
did a couple-
bend over your back.
Couple of weeks as just helping out my uncle who was Sparky.
Yeah.
Like back when I was training footy, doing footy and doing all these other things, and I was like, yeah, you guys work pretty hard.
Yeah, and even the furniture delivery stuff, like dealing with couches that are worth 10 grand, like just that, not pressure, you didn't feel pressure, but knowing that, you know, if I scratch this, I'm in some serious shit here.
Yeah, you got to look after it.
Yeah,
But at the same time, you've got to get the job done.
Get it done efficiently and quickly, but look after it at the same time.
Yeah.
Kind of a soft, gentle hand as such.
Yeah. And then, how'd you get into Virtus? Obviously, I know the answer.
Yeah, you know the answer. Do you know the original answer though?
What's the original answer?
One of your lovely sisters tagged me to post.
Really?
The original
So that was how you
And
got
I
into Virtus.
remember that fondly. We'd always spoken about it.
Yeah.
But I remember that moment fondly.
Which sister?
Guess.
It would have been Beck.
Not true.
It's Jess?
Yeah, Jess.
Yeah, good
Jess
from
tagged
her.
me. Yes, Jess tagged me in a post about the internship.
Yeah.
And I'd done coaching before, but not anything in a strength and conditioning or...
You done ATS?
Yeah,
coaching?
done ATS. Yeah, done ATS at Frankston. Nothing private as such, just through the school. Did a bit of morning training work and then on comp day warm-ups and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of came naturally to me previously doing athletics. So.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I hadn't really done anything. Kind of just jumped into it freewillingly, going like, yeah, this sounds cool. Yeah, kind of half.
Let's give the internship a go.
Yeah, half know the guy that runs it, so there you go.
Well, I remember like Mitch Rowe, I know that guy, I think. And then I asked the girls, and I remembered you as a little smart ass from one time I met you.
Yeah, I believe that.
Which was kind of worked pretty well because that was probably me when I was your age anyway. So I think we got you in for an interview.
Oh yeah, I know where this is going.
I can't remember. Talk to me.
What was the joke you asked me?
Oh yeah.
You told me.
Yeah, I got you in for an interview.
It's all serious business.
We'd gone through the whole interview. I'd asked you all the serious questions, and the last question we ask everyone in our interviews is, or it's not really a question. It's just we stare blankly and tell me a joke. Is the thing we say.
I reckon I sat there for at least 2 minutes going, I have no idea.
And then you said, what did you say?
I said your beard because at that time it wasn't great, to be fair.
Mate, it's not great now.
Patchy.
It's not great now. It's patchy
At least
now.
it has some length to it. But yes, I did say your beard.
Yeah.
And Jesse at the time absolutely lost it.
It was pretty funny because you like.
I'd sat there for 2 minutes having no idea what to say.
Yeah.
Like, trying to think of all the.
It was a pretty bland interview, to be honest.
Yeah.
You weren't super exciting. You weren't an amazing candidate.
Yeah, I believe that.
But like you said all the right things and you gave all the right answers and then you dished that out at the end.
Yeah, I can't. I often come off that way at the start, and I don't dislike it, but it's not my favourite thing. I think Amy, my whole family will attest to this, that I'm not the greatest person at expressing emotions or how I feel. Like I could feel amazing and
I had this conversation
grateful.
with Jess the other day.
Yeah, I can feel so amazing, so grateful about something that someone does for me, and like I won't show it. I don't know what it is. I think it's not shy. I don't know how. I honestly don't know what it is.
You're very nonchalant about the way you deal with things.
Just take it on like and just ride the waves really. Like just let it kind of happen.
Which is a good way to be because especially when you're going through things that are relatively stressful, you can kind of just let it happen.
Yeah.
And deal with it and then make the right decisions and move on.
I think that I like to let other people know good things about them, but I can't take it myself as such.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's obviously it gives you a good feeling and stuff like that, but for me, telling someone else why they're good or why they've done something nice for me is better than me getting something from someone else because I don't really think about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where it kind of comes from as well.
Yeah, definitely. So we had you told me that terrible joke and then
I did tell you that terrible joke, yes.
And then somehow you still managed to squeeze yourself into an internship.
Lean pickings, I think.
How'd you find the internship?
It was awesome.
It was 3 months of just hanging out with us. Really.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and I mean, two of the first 3 questions I asked were obviously how many hours and can I stay longer, and is there an opportunity for me at the end of this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the last 2 questions I asked them.
Yeah, which for all of those, I guess, students and things like that listening, or anyone that's looking for a new job or looking to chase the job they love or things like that, like Mitch asked for a job before he even started the internship. And I think that for me, like that reminded me a lot of myself. Like I always kind of asked, you always want to ask for the things you want really early on because then it's in someone's mind. And that was in my mind at the start, like for the whole internship, and having you kind of spend 12 weeks with us and then a few more weeks after, and then have you kind of almost walk out the door. I kind of just want and you asked me at the end, or you asked me at our 8-week meeting, you asked me at our 12-week meeting, and it was just a simple decision to hire you at the end, because it was just like, well, we don't have any work for this kid, but
I'll find some.
Yeah, exactly. He keeps asking for a job, and it turned out to be a somewhat good decision.
I'll take that
for Virtus.
Yeah, and I think knowing that I think that kind of reflects back onto Virtus back then as well. Like, I wanted to be there and wanted to be involved in that environment because it was something that I wanted to be, helping people be better at whatever they want to do in life, whatever they want to work towards. I think that's what made me want to start in the first place. I heard a few little things, obviously not a lot.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what made me want to stay. And I'm pretty sure that's what most of the people that come in through Virtus, clients, interns, coaches, that's what the reason is they want to stay.
Well, I'm sure Jess will talk about this when I eventually interview her in a couple of weeks, but she came to the interview, and it's cool to see you guys as junior coaches, as really good performance coaches in your own right, come through the internship. Like you, Maddie, and Jess. Now we've had 3 of you that have been hired through the internship. Jess came in thinking that Virtus was in Mordialloc or Moorabbin because it was closer to the city where she was coming from, and then plugged it into maps and realised it was in Mornington, and decided, because she'd already booked it, that she'd come down and do the interview with me anyway. And then after doing the interview, she's like, well, I guess I'm driving to Mornington 3 times a week. So I think we've been really lucky with Jesse at the start, and then him moving on 12 months ago, or a little over 12 months ago. Yeah. We've been able to create a really cool environment where cool people want to work. Yeah. And now having 14 staff, which is still pretty mind blowing.
I was thinking about that before, actually, when we were at our meeting this morning. Yeah. Or this afternoon.
Well, when you started,
this time last year,
who was coaching? Who was around?
Sophie was around when I started.
Yeah.
Cam, Katie, yourself, Jesse, and Bailey.
And Ash.
And I think Ash started after.
Yeah,
she started after. It was just the coaches.
Yeah. And then
we hadn't even done upstairs yet.
And then we got Greg on board, and Ash on board, and now we've got 2 Maddies. Yeah. Coop. Brooke.
Paige. Your mum.
My mum.
You don't want my mum.
No, not at all. Anna's doing some yoga, so it's been pretty cool. And you've been, and Jed, he's chairman of the board. As it's been cool to you've been here for longer than you haven't now. Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah. When did you first do first session?
I was looking at this the other day. It was, I think it's 15 months ago now. Was my first group session.
So you've been coaching at Virtus for 15 months, and we've been alive for 26.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
What have you learned in the last 15 months that you didn't think you'd learn, or in terms of? That's a really broad question. I'm going to ask you. What have you learned about yourself in the last 15 months?
I still have a lot more to give, even though I'm doing a lot. I have a lot more to give. It really excites me that I'm kind of only just starting. Mm-hmm. And knowing that I still have the next 30 years if I want.
Yeah.
To do what I do now and do it on a bigger, broader scale.
It's cool.
Which is pretty cool.
What have you learned about working in a team?
I always love it. I like helping others and bouncing off others and kind of getting into someone's expertise and understanding what they do and how they do it, and kind of adapting that to my own little way.
Yeah.
And I always like to work with everyone as well, and different people really. Yeah. I enjoy being around.
It helps having that, I guess, multifaceted environment for you to work in.
Yeah.
In terms of development.
Especially people with different ages, different experiences, and life experiences, just completely random backgrounds. That as well.
Yeah, it's just a melting pot for, I guess, improvement. If you could describe, for people that don't know you, if you could describe yourself as a coach, how would you describe yourself?
Oh God,
and I guess for those that don't understand why we call our performance coaches rather than PTs or trainers, it's because coaching is so much broader than just sets, reps. It's creating long-term, like fulfilling relationships with our clients.
Yeah.
And I think, and the performance aspect of that, being performance coaches, is that performance is not just athletic performance, but it's life performance as well. If we can create a long-lasting relationship with our clients, and we can spread it to all different parts of their life, not just what they can deadlift or what they can bench press, then we're going to make the world a better place by making individuals better, one person at a time. So for you as a performance coach, how would you describe yourself?
I think not only being a coach when they walk in the roller door at Virtus, being someone that they can come to out of Virtus with anything they want.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sit down for 3 hours and have coffee and just chat random nothing if they want.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to help them get better physically, but also help that mental and lifestyle and that just general life side of things. And if they're having career aspiration issues, they don't know what they want to do, kind of be like, help them with that as well. So just a kind of not all round, but having that ability to just be there for anything and everything that I need, and being able to adapt that to different people as well. I think that's something that I can do reasonably well.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously being a younger person and having a lot of younger clients, I also have some 40, 50, 55-year-old females that have never stepped foot in the gym, like being able to help them as well. And something I've got better at, especially in the last 6 months at least, is being able to help them as well, not just the juniors that I see and the people that are my age. Being able to get someone who's, say, 50, 55, never stepped foot in the gym, never played sport, being able to let them know that I actually understand what they're going through, from talking to other people and just chatting to random people and different people about that kind of stuff, being able to help that as well. That's the biggest thing, being a younger coach especially, is when you get people that are older than you and have experienced a lot more, and being able to understand that, but still being able to understand the general kind of principles behind them. Yeah. That's kind of something that may set me apart from other different, say, 20-year-olds, something like that.
Yeah, well, I guess you like the
big old soul, you may say.
The old soul, shit. Well, that's probably not a terrible point, because the big thing with you is you're able to. That's a Sprite, not a beer that you just opened. The
green peas.
The green peas. I guess the big thing for you is you're able to create that relationship with your clients, and it's. And I've always struggled with people saying you don't want to have a personal relationship with your clients, and coaches saying that, and I think some of the people that taught me in my PT course said that, and I think that's, I don't know, I think that's a little off, because if you can create a long-term relationship where your clients genuinely trust you and they're genuine friends rather than just people that come in and spend time with you, then they trust you and they're going to listen to you and they're going to talk to you and they'll open up to you, and then you're going to be able to get like the best possible result for them. Yeah. And you're going to be able to actually teach them and empower them long term. And I think you're doing that. Yeah,
but you kind of get people to see you more as a person rather than an object that they see to make them sweat, like something like that. A person that you come to rather than someone that's just going to make them work hard.
Yeah, and like your genuine care for the people that you see is probably what sets you apart from most 20-year-olds. Like, I look back to when I was 20 and I was coaching. I was like, I was coaching when I was 20, so it was 5 years ago. Where are we now? 2017, 2012. Yeah, I was coaching, and I was trying hard and I was working hard and I genuinely cared for my clients, but I didn't have anywhere near the rapport that I see that you have with them. And I was lucky a few of them stuck around, and now I'm able to have that rapport with a lot of them. But I think your ability to foster relationships, get to know someone intimately, and then help them, and you're not doing it for them, and that's probably the most magical part. You're empowering them to do it themselves. Yeah. But you're seeing them move from point A to point B, and improve over a period of time.
I think an interesting point Amy brought up yesterday, actually, when we were having lunch, is I see a lot of people. Most people have, let's say, best friends, and acquaintances that I don't really know that well. Yeah. Whereas I kind of have like my really close knit, really good best mates, some really good friends, some friends, and then some more friends. Mm-hmm. I don't not like to, but I like having a large group of people that I can be like, yeah, you're my friend, like that. Yeah. And that's a little bit different to others having that just kind of broad spectrum of people.
Do you think that's because you? And I don't know. I've got a little theory about that, but do you think that's because you played a lot of sport when you were growing up? So you played different sports. So you had a lot of people from each sport that you had like almost had to have somewhat of a relationship with.
Yeah, I think so.
To know them.
I think so, and also being around a whole lot of different communities. I think not just the people, but the community itself kind of helps that because like. Obviously, went to primary school in Pearstow, it's a very small community. Mm-hmm. Went to high school at Franks and I, massive community. Yeah. Played football at Pearstow Junior Footy Club, which is, again, really small community. Been into the under Vic system for cricket, massive community. Mm-hmm. Played cricket at Dandenong, a whole different type of community in itself. And like just that kind of all helps that, I think. Knowing and being able to talk to a larger group of people with different experiences and different cultures and communities, I think that kind of what that comes down to.
Yeah, and each, I guess you've kind of almost got to have a slightly different version of yourself in each community because you hold a different, I guess, status level and you're different. Yeah, you're doing a different thing and you're there for a different reason. And it must have been interesting going from Pearstow in a small school to a giant school like Frankston.
Yeah, it was different. It was good though.
Definitely. Did you how'd you get to YC playing footy? This is more for me than anyone else because...
Well, I played all my juniors at Pearstow. Mm-hmm. I think I played 3s, under 10s, did that. Played up until under 16s. Had a year off of 15s and I broke my leg.
Yeah.
Didn't play that year and kind of didn't... Not fall out of love with footy, but had that year off where I had to sit on the sidelines and I think... You're probably one to attest to this as well. I suck at watching. I am the worst.
Yeah, I watch a quarter and show the boys on there and go home.
I think I watched like max 3 games that year. Not because I didn't care about my team. Like I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Just got fidgety and having close to 12, 18 months off sport killed me.
Yeah, that's a long time. As a 15-year-old.
Yeah, I think I just needed a fresh change. And I did obviously I had high school mates that played footy there, but I probably only knew going there. Really only knew like 2 people, and I moved house later on. Like I was already at YC when I moved close to YC.
Yeah,
I just needed a fresh change, and obviously it's a very very good football club and that kind of stuff. I think that's kind of what brought me to there.
That's pretty cool because I played at PSL for a year. Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, wow.
And then one for 12 months, and then moved to YC. I was under 14s at PSL, I think. Yeah. But that's funny because you'd broken your leg because one of my best mates, Jake, at that time broke his leg and had to sit out that whole year.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Like I was the worst, and like I really didn't want to play 16s. Like my body was fine. I could have played 16s. Didn't want to play 16s at Pearstow. Wanted to play somewhere else. Not because I didn't like the team or anything. I just needed a fresh change, something different. Yeah. Dad was coaching, and I was like, no, I'm not going to make him do that. And obviously, Dad, my old man is a very very good football coach. Obviously, had a large experience in the football world, playing at Swan Districts when he was 18, that kind of stuff. Now he's coaching youth girls and doing that type of thing. I think I didn't want to doing that. So kind of that comes back to doing stuff for other people again. Like I played at Pearstow in 16s because my dad was coaching. Yeah. Not because I didn't want him to coach me. I knew he enjoyed coaching and that was beneficial to him. Yeah. Looking back on it now, that probably benefited him through all of that. I wouldn't have known that back then, but I think that kind of ties into each other some way or another.
Definitely. Yeah, that's really interesting. Did you back on that, you breaking your leg, you broke it pretty well, right?
Yeah, a couple of spots.
Yeah. How'd you do it?
At footy training. It was. I'm going to blame the council for this one. So it was. I think we had.
It's not opening.
It was actually probably this weekend's probably a good one to talk about it. The last big storm we had was that week. Yeah. Councils wouldn't let us train on the ground. We still trained. We went training on the netball courts. Yeah. Just doing lane work, like simple lane work. One of my good mates at the time, terrible kick. He probably won't listen to this. I think he might actually work with Tommy Curtis. Or you know Tommy Curtis through work, something like that. That'd be interesting. But nah, he terrible kick, never been any good. Kicked the biggest floater you'll ever see, just in pure lane work. Jumped up, normally as you would, just kind of floated over my head a little bit. And then instead of kind of coming down and going flat or rolling with the other way, and then my knee hit the ground on the opposite side. Oh. Yeah, so kind of just, not thought that great. Like, heard a massive snap. Thought it was my hand or like something on the ground, just kind of got up and went to run it off and just like fell on a heap. I was like, I think I've done something here. Yeah. Yeah, just boot straight off, went and sat on the side. I think I might have even got carried off. Like, it was excruciating, and I have a very, very good pain threshold in that drill. That was probably one of the worst things I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
So generally got carried off to the side of the netball court, kind of sat there with my leg in the air. I was like, I think I've done something good here.
Yeah.
Just thought I slapped my hand on the ground. Just wanted to get up and run again. Then sat in the car. Dad drove me to hospital.
Yeah.
Sat in the car with my leg up, and I think I felt every bump from Pearsall football up to Frankston Hospital on the way.
Yeah, lovely.
I specifically remember 2 spots that we went over a bump and I slammed my foot in the glove box. That was up there with one of the worst things I've done as well.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, sat in emergency for a few hours and stayed overnight. And, yeah, broke my fib in one spot badly and a few other little spots. Then turned into Bionic Man overnight. The plate, I think it was 5 screws and a couple of pins.
Gnarly.
Yeah, so I did it well. At least I did it well.
Do you blame that for your lack of growth afterwards?
No, I'm still going to blame that.
So
Never been the tallest.
So doing an injury as horrific as that at was it 15? 15.
Yeah.
What did that kind of change the trajectory of your sporting career? Being like a pretty good footballer growing up and pretty good athlete growing up.
To an extent, yes. I never put it on that being like that's the reason I never went anywhere with sport.
Yeah.
To an extent, yes, because going from 14s was obviously the previous year I played, going to under 17s footy.
Yeah.
Played 16s, but didn't really have any form of any idea of what I was doing.
Yeah.
Went from 14s to 17s footy and just like completely fish out of water.
Yeah.
And like the first minimum 2 years I played at YC, I played dreadfully. Like got dropped multiple times and I was like, this sucks. And I knew what it was for, and like just a totally different type of footy to what I'd obviously played seriously before.
Yeah.
And yeah, just fish out of water. So footy, yeah. I still like I play it socially and like for that now.
Yeah.
But cricket wise I didn't really same thing. I missed the pre-season and stuff like that, but nothing worse.
Wouldn't affect you as much as
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Obviously, cricket's not a.
What you're saying is cricketers aren't great athletes like footballers. Is that what you're saying?
Not true. Standing out in a grass field for 9 hours at a time is always fun. In pants.
Hey, they've got to be psychologically resilient because they've just got to stand there and watch grass fly past and grass grow and stuff.
Yeah, so I don't think so. I think that was the last time I did athletics. I didn't do athletics again after that.
Yeah,
I did like school athletics in year 12, but same thing. I was dreadful.
Yeah,
just terrible.
Must have been frustrating.
It was to an extent. It was pretty annoying, and like obviously being so sporty and having dad involved in everything. Same again. I generally felt bad for him having to drive to places, like because I'm like I'm terrible now. I'm not performing to know what I can do and what I know I can.
What
do.
you were able to.
Yeah, generally stuff like that.
Yeah, that would have been frustrating, but you move on.
Worst things have happened.
Worst things have happened to better people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, do you think that's part of why you got into coaching? Because you want to see other people succeed and move forward?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and I think that's to an extent when I broke my leg, it kind of drove me into coaching to an extent because I couldn't obviously do anything for 12, 18 months.
Yeah.
So I knew that I had to do something else, and I always wanted to be involved. That's where I got involved in athletics coaching at the start. That's kind of the first coaching that I did. And then the cricket stuff came after that, and then followed up for that.
Awesome. That's really cool. What are the... I want you to kind of open the crystal ball a little bit here. Next, you've been at Virtus 15 months, being a coach, being a performance coach, helping out with some admin stuff of late. What does the next 15 months look like?
Pretty damn exciting, that's for sure. Yeah. 2018 is going to be filled with a lot of travel, a lot of self-development, a lot of PD stuff, but also just continually coaching, because that's obviously how I'm going to get better at coaching, is just coach.
Yeah.
But going to New Zealand in March with Franks and I for the second time, we went a couple of years ago, so we were over 2 years, taking an athletic squad over there to compete in their North and South Island Championships, like an invitational thing for us.
That's cool.
So that's always really, really cool. It's like 4 days of like intensive comp, and then the rest is sightseeing and travel, and it's always fun taking kids that have probably never experienced anything like that over there, and they see things and they kind of gobsmacked by that. Just like some simple thing like a waterfall, like little things like that. Like we drove an hour and a half, 2 hours to one of like the smaller waterfalls in New Zealand. They all loved it. So just little things like that.
That's cool.
So that's been really rad. That'll be, I think, 12 days I think I'll be away for in March. Between that, just a whole lot of coaching and a lot of development stuff. And then in July/August, somewhere around there, depending on when Amy can get some time off, going to head over to Europe to hopefully do Germany, Italy, Greece and Croatia.
Awesome.
Hopefully, depending on how much time she can get off with gym. And that's just chill out holiday, like just generally go take some time. We actually haven't been away to another country together.
Really?
Yeah, never.
That's cool.
No, we're probably furthest we've ever gone away is Philippines.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful part of the world.
Yeah, but yeah, that'd be really good. She'll like to sit on some beaches and I like to go see some historic stuff.
And go do some stuff.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll talk about Amy.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I was told she had to have a few shout-outs. So.
Did she?
Yes.
She would have said that. That's
said
okay.
that.
She's a lovely human.
Yeah, and then get back, do some more coaching, do some other little things, and then in October I'll head over to the States, over to Exos, or Exos as they like to call it.
Exos?
Yeah, I found that on a few videos, so I've been calling it wrong for the last 6 months that I've been talking about.
I've called it Exos since I heard of them.
It's just our slang.
So
yeah.
For the people that aren't coaches in the listening sphere, what's Exos?
Exos it's pretty much, putting it in layman's terms, it's like the Nike of performance coaching.
Nike, mate.
Nike, same thing. Same. So yeah, it's like it's like the Nike of performance coaching. It's one of the world's biggest performance training companies, obviously in the world. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be really exciting. I'll be going over to do their performance mentorship. I'll be jumping into phase 2. They offer an online part of it that you can do that gets you into that phase 2, which is all the theory-based stuff.
Yeah.
So rather than go over there for another 8 days, I can do it all here and then obviously go do more stuff when I'm over there. So I'll do it that way. Works out to be a little cheaper too, so kind of pays for my plane ticket over.
Yeah.
So it works out really nice. Then jumping into phase 2 and phase 3. So they do 4-day phases with I think it's a 3-day off period.
Yeah.
So 4 days intensive, 3 days off, 4 days intensive. And just go learn from them and just pick their brains.
See what happens.
Yeah, pretty much. I haven't thought about it much because it's still very early, but I don't think I'll think about it too much either. I kind of like to just take it as it comes and don't plan too much as such.
Yeah. Don't try.
And that'll be in Arizona. And the World Athletic Center, so Altus, is also in Arizona, which I'm going to hopefully try and sneak over to.
Awesome.
They're starting to run some apprentice coach programs for like a week. They've just started them now, so hopefully by the time I'm over there, they'll do a few others.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's one on at that stage, and I'll go do that as well and hang out there. And like I've been following all their coaches for as long as I've been coaching.
Yeah.
They do some really, really, really cool things. And then hopefully go over as well and find a FCS course, so one of the FMS courses that is only run in America.
Functional capacity screen?
Yeah, so it's only run in America. So there can't be very many people over here that have done it. So
I might meet you over there, I think.
Yeah, I'm real keen for that. So if that's, let's say, a month earlier or a month later, that'll be my start or finish.
Yeah.
Plan my trip around that to an extent.
Perfect.
So yeah, really keen to do that as well.
Why does someone who's 20 want to do all this PD stuff?
Why not? I love learning. Why wouldn't you?
What have you done so far in 2017?
I've done FMS level 1.
Which is functional movement screen, which is us seeing how people move.
Yep, exactly. I've done SFMA level 1 and 2, which is more the clinical side of things and the movement appraisal from a deeper understanding.
Yeah, identifying what's going on with the parts.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I've done an Olympic weightlifting one. Did that with Benny. What else have I done? Obviously, uni degree. Finish that off.
Finish uni.
Tick that off. Not doing FMS level 2 because that's a Christmas party. I'll do that next year. Go over and find one in Australia and take a weekend away. Go do that. I think Ash is going to come do that as well. And we're going to audit SFMA as well, so that'll be pretty cool. So do it again.
Yep.
So auditing is, you don't go judge the instructors, you just go do it again for free. And now that you've done it once, you kind of understand a little bit more. So level 1, which is more the assessment and screen. Yeah, you get a deeper understanding of little things like that. And obviously Greg is a fantastic human, but also going to learn off other instructors and get their insight as well. something different.
All I heard was Greg's inadequate and you can't just learn off him.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's really good. It'll be a really cool, I guess, contrast to learn from two different people. You've done SFMA level 2 as well, which is just a deeper understanding. You've done Greg's course.
Yeah, I've done Greg's course. Last one on.
Do you remember what it's called?
Saturday? Nah, it's way too long. Needs to rain. Needs to check that for next time.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Stability motor control for rehab in sports performance or something along those lines.
Mobility, stability, motor control for sports performance, rehab, and something.
Yeah, something. I don't know the other way.
The longest course name ever.
Yeah. So, 3
It's
parts
just
of that.
how to be better at life, really.
Yeah, just listen to Greg talk for a few hours a day and just soothe my soul.
So we got part 3 of 3 of that this weekend, which isn't going to be this weekend.
It won't be this weekend.
In terms of
it'll be like 2 weeks ago.
the podcast being released. But anyway, is that all you've done?
I think so. Like a few little things here and there, but nothing major.
That's pretty huge for your first.
Helped out with a uni study. Yeah, I did that.
What was the study about?
Sleep deprivation and exercise performance, I think it was. Got to see some biopsies done. Never getting one of them done to me ever.
No, muscle biopsies.
Yeah, I like my own muscle in my leg.
Yeah.
So got to see those get done and run the exercise part of that. So that was really cool to help with that as well.
Awesome.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, you've had a busy year.
Yeah, I had a busy year.
Trying to fit
Got it
everything
all
in.
done.
Yeah, 100%. You got it all done. So you get home from Arizona at the end of next year, or towards the end of next year. Then what?
Jeez, what's this? What are we talking? 2019?
Yeah, end of 2018, start of 2019.
Yeah.
What's the grand plan?
To be honest, I haven't thought of it.
Cool.
Yeah, I think a few people have spoken to me about wanting to come do the Exos stuff, especially with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of like beat around the bush and like, nah, I don't really. It's kind of for me. Like, it's kind of a little selfish way of thinking, but that's something that I kind of want to do. Not on my own. I'm gonna say on my own.
But if you put yourself in that environment where you're meeting new people and you're meeting some of the best coaches in the world
I think
on your own, you're gonna open yourself up to get to know them.
And I think if you go do it with someone, you can be a little bit sheltered as well. Like you don't put yourself out there as much.
Yeah.
I think that's something that I personally did when we went to that summit in Sydney. So that's something else I've done.
Mm-hmm.
That summit in Sydney was awesome. Had some really good speakers, but I kind of not went in my shell, but kind of just like hung around you and Cam.
Yeah.
And like in a normal stage, I'd be like out there talking to everyone.
Yeah.
Just kind of just how it is. I think only that would have picked up on that, reflecting on it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So did I.
Yeah. So and I think that if you can go to events like that by yourself, then you have to make friends.
Yeah.
And you have to get.
I love that part of it.
And you have to get to know people, and you have to create relationships. And I guess we use Greg as an example. Like he's been able to foster relationships with.
I was scared of Greg for the first 2 weeks.
I don't think he spoke to him.
I didn't speak to him for 2 weeks. I was so imposed by him.
He's very intimidating. I don't know if he'll like hearing that or not.
No, I've told him that once.
Yeah.
I have told him.
He wouldn't have liked it. He would have been.
He said something. I can't remember what it was, but it was in typical Greg fashion.
Yeah, there would have been something magical come out of it.
Yeah, and like I'd read like 3 or 4 of his articles. I was like, sweet. Like when you read those things, you're like, I'm never going to see this person in my life. Like they must be amazing.
And then he walks through.
And then he walks through the door. I'm like, holy hell! I'm not saying anything to you.
And the cool thing about that, it's similar to you wanting to work at Virtus. Like we were able to create and foster an environment where people like you and Greg and Ash and Paige and Anna and everyone actually want to spend their time, which is pretty magical.
Yeah.
Do you or on the point before you rudely interrupted about Greg having fostered all those relationships with so many different people all over the world, and now he teaches in a bunch of different countries and things like that because he's had moments with those people that he's been able to organise those things, and I think that's just going to open more and more doors for you.
Yeah, and he's obviously
to open Virtus overseas or something.
Yeah. I've had some I'll say in-depth conversation with Greg. And like a few things he said, and like he's like, I know someone here. You go hang with them. Like just little things like that. And like that's pretty cool.
Well, I've booked a 6-week South America trip for March, and I said, "Hey mate, do you know anyone in South America?" He goes, "Yep, these 2 people in Brazil. Spend a little bit of time with them, and they'll look after you."
And we sat down for lunch during the lunch break of SFMA level 2, and he's like, he did so. For the people not listening, we do daily videos that I don't think you spoke about on the podcast.
I don't know if I have, but just a little sidebar.
Yeah,
one of the big things with
There's a reason.
our team at Virtus and being a leader or a manager or whatever you want to call it, CEO of that team. My big goal, and I think this is really important for any organisation, is to have complete open two-way communication between me and my staff, but at the same time all of the staff members towards each other. And now that our team's getting a little bit bigger, we're tending to find where we struggle with knowing what's going on in everyone's lives. So we've implemented what we call a daily huddle video, and it's not completely our idea. It's something that I've kind of stolen a few different ideas and different ways to implement it from a bunch of different mentors and people that have helped me through a lot of those things. So that daily huddle video we go through, we put it on our group chat. We chuck on Facebook Live, so it's a live video, so it can't be pre-recorded. And we go through three things. We go through what's going on in your world today, what's front of mind, what you're currently blocked on or what you're struggling with, and what your focus is for the day. And for us, that's allowed us to really understand each other and what's going on in our world and what's kind of the first thing that we're thinking about and what we're worried about and struggling with, and it allows us to help each other sort through those blocks and struggles, and allows us to help each other and keep ourselves accountable on our focuses. But we've probably the biggest benefit, and something that I didn't realise, was that if you sit there and talk in front of a camera for 2, 3, 4 minutes, it's pretty therapeutic, and you tend to get, we as individuals tend to get just as much out of it as each other do. So that's our daily huddle, and Mitchy's going to talk about it.
Where I was going with that was there was Greg, who is currently overseas teaching in Poland, at the airport before he left. He was doing his daily videos and saying stuff about me, and I don't know how to put it into words how grateful and thankful and just completely gobsmacked I was.
You have to put it into words because you're never going to show it.
Oh yeah, physically can't. I can't just go cuddle him for 3 hours. I could, but I don't know if CJ would like that too much.
Big spoon or little spoon?
Yeah, big little spoon, 100%.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, and some of the things that he said there, that coming after what we spoke about at lunch, and him going you could quite easily just pick up a contract for 2 years and go work overseas. Something like that coming from Greg, I was just holy hell, that's really cool.
It's amazing.
Which is where I was going with all that.
Yeah, but that ability to be, for you to be self-reflective, to go, you know what, I suck at this, I want to get better at this, or I want to improve my ability to do this. Cool, I'm going to go do this course. And for all of those guys that don't understand, all of those courses, they're not cheap. Mitchy's put a significant amount of resources, both time and money, into those. So it's pretty cool to see him develop so quickly, because I think it's really easy to go, oh no, I don't want to spend that $2,000 or $1,500 or whatever on that specific course or on that way to develop. But I think it pays itself back tenfold.
Yeah, and SFMA is a course that's generally run for practitioners and clinicians.
It's not one for coaches.
Even when it was brought up that it would be taken at Virtus by Greg, I don't think I did think of it, but I think many people thought of a coach doing it as such. And I saw the benefit in it for me, understanding, because the FMS, it gives you a score and you understand broadly what it is, but you don't understand if they get. So the scoring system 0 to 3. If they get a whole heap of zeros or ones, you don't understand why.
Exactly.
And that was the important part. I was I'm missing something here. I got to do this. I can, but I don't want to have a hole in something that I implement and use every day.
Yeah.
So that's why I went and did that.
Yeah. And it's been really cool to see you, I guess, work so well with Greg and Ash and all the other coaches in actually implementing all that stuff, which is super cool. Tell me about Amy.
Where do I start? Didn't invite me to 18th. That's where I started.
Really?
Yeah, that's how we kind of met.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was in her. So I did PE early, so I was in year 11. I was in year 10. She was in 11. We were in the same class, and then we ended up in the same year 12 class as well. And that's how we met.
Cute.
Yeah, we met there, and didn't invite me to her party. That's kind of how it all started. And she still forgets this, but same. It's just I remember these weird things, and I don't know how I do it, but I don't forget the important things, but I just remember odd things. And a couple of people at Virtus have like mentioned this, and I'm like, yeah, that's actually really true. Just the little things that I somehow pick up on. I don't know how, but it happens. But yeah, I met in high school. Didn't invite me to a party, sent her a message like, what the hell, where's the party? Didn't happen. Generally did send you that. And yeah, kind of went from there. 4 years later, and here I am. We are, sorry.
It's all about
that. God.
Amy's a pretty talented human.
Yeah, she's
right?
much more talented than I, and I'm more than happy to admit that.
What's she doing with herself at the moment?
She is an elite gymnast, currently in prep for Com Games, hopefully. So that'll be really cool. Currently training her little butt off some ridiculous hours a week, which is kind of why we're still ticking along. I think that kind of helps. She trains as much as I coach, so that helps.
It definitely helps. That's why we're sitting here at 9 o'clock on a Thursday night talking about
she's life. Well, no, it's a Thursday. Night off.
Ooh, you're going to get in trouble.
Yeah, hope she cooled down.
So that's pretty cool to have her being that elite in that elite environment. Yeah. Have you thought about, I guess, jumping on what she does and learning off some of those coaches?
To an extent, I met a couple of my clients now through her, and they're coaches as well, and I obviously pick up things from them and they pick up things from me, and we kind of interrelate and still talk about it. Like, they'll use stuff that I use for them with their 6-year-old gymnasts. And
that's cool.
That's kind of how I've obviously got a lot of gymnasts and aerobics and that kind of clientele.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of how it is, and I would, but I don't think it's my point of focus. I think I definitely will go do it. There is so much you can learn through gymnastics. It's one of the better things that you can do for your children if they're growing up. Gymnastics, athletics, and a team sport. They're the 3 things that you can't miss.
Yeah. Maybe a martial art as well.
Yeah. That's what my kids will be doing.
I've got a list of what I want to do.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But gymnastics is definitely one of them because it teaches movement and body control.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's really helped my coaching, especially. I use a lot of gymnastics and Pilates type stuff in my coaching now.
And I think that's a really cool thing about, I guess, our job being a coach is there's so many different areas and different.
We're the best thieves.
Yeah, we just get to steal stuff from all the different sports, and being in a niche that we are in terms of movement coaching and strength and capacity coaching, a lot of people in our industry can get really bogged down into this is the best way, and bodybuilding is the best way, CrossFit's the best way, F45 is the best way, sprinting's the best way, jumping's the best way. But at the end of the day, they're all just thousands of tools that we have in our toolbox that we implement as case by case. Yeah. And that's something you're able to do really well. Yeah. Is you'll take a gymnastics based movement and then move into a powerlifting based movement and move into a sport specific based movement or a coordination based movement, and you're going to get the best result for your athlete, which is pretty cool. I've got a couple of questions to ask you. Not different questions, just a couple of questions. You can be as succinct or you can go as stupid as you want with your answer. Okay. What are you grateful for?
The people around me, for one. 100%. I wouldn't be who I am without the people that I have around me and in my community.
Good. That's a very good answer.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. That's, I'm grateful to everyone around me.
I like it. If you could have a billboard over the top of the Monash Freeway, what would you write on it? What would you have on it? Seen by thousands and thousands and thousands of people every day.
I'd have in quotation marks, there's a million ways to get better, you just need to find the one that works for you.
Oh, good. I like that.
Not have my head up there though.
I wouldn't put your head on it.
Me either.
Little Virtus logo.
Yeah,
plug that.
Yeah, I'll plug that.
Yeah, good. This came from the conversation I had with Wade the other day. What are the five things you wish you were taught at school?
How to do my tax.
That was the one.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
I would just reaffirm that hard work is something that I enjoy and is going to some way or somehow pay me back in the future. Mm-hmm. 3 others. Don't dwell on the little things. Not that I do, but I know that obviously a lot of people do, and that can turn into a vicious circle and turn into a bigger thing than what it really needs to be.
Definitely.
Two others. Probably, I think, finding a community of people that you enjoy around, that you mutually benefit from being around, either socially, professionally, anything like that.
Yeah.
Because I think often in high school, people get stuck with obviously those small little friend groups, and then as soon as you finish high school, you never speak to them again.
Yeah.
And then they get out of high school and they're like, crap, what do I do with my life now?
Yeah, because
I don't know anyone.
But they're the people that you spend time with because it's
just easy.
Easy and convenient, and they're the people around you.
Like, teaching kids, this kind of 4th and 5th as well, teaching kids how to make connections with people that are deeper than just your lunchtime. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
That's missed a lot.
But it's a skill that not many people have.
Yeah.
Like that ability to just sit down and have a conversation with someone who you haven't grown up with or that you don't necessarily know is quite difficult.
Yeah.
And then people get stuck in friendship groups that aren't necessarily serving them.
Yeah.
Or aren't necessarily serving the group, and then it's just a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Which it's a good one. It's a good answer.
I think.
If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be?
Well, there's obviously your bigger things, poverty, cancer, all that kind of stuff. Like, nothing worse. Like, I was showing actually Anna and Ash today. One of my, I call her a friend. I'll know her. I'll say hello to her. But better friends with her sister. She had leukemia a while ago. I'm going to say 2 years. Let's go a while ago.
Yeah.
Got rid of it. See you later. Done deal. Cancer free. And then went through all this treatment and then found out maybe a month ago that had it again and just came out of the blue. Like, that sucks. Like, that, no one wants to go to that.
Yeah.
It's terrible for just the person itself, but everyone around her. And I don't know her greatly, but I obviously see her around and stuff like that. And like, even I feel like shit by it. Like, no one needs to experience that. So there's always the bigger things, but if I'm going to go like a little left of centre kind of thing, I think not dwelling on little things again, like just being not carefree, but not letting the little things build up and make it a bigger issue than what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Like, I think I picked up a few of my clients saying this, that I obviously say it a lot, is just stress less.
Yeah.
That's my go-to, just chill out, stress less. Like, you don't need to worry about that. In the end, it's not that great. It's not that important.
Yeah, and I think a big reason or big way to fix that is start celebrating the wins.
Yeah.
And start celebrating all the little things you do well, and actually, when you talk to yourself, and we all do it, be positive. And like, I think it's something that those Huddle videos we spoke about, there was like a week there where everything was negative.
Yeah.
And kind of checking that and going, guys, like, let's start celebrating the wins. And every meeting now we talk about what we're grateful for, and different people in the team, and it's so much harder for people to give themselves pats on the back than to say something they don't like about themselves.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fucked up in a way.
Yeah, it is.
What's success to you?
Honestly, I listen to every podcast and I hear this question all the time, and I never think about it, because success to me is not that forward of mine at the moment. I don't like. Success is working hard and obviously enjoying something you do all day, every day. But in the grand scheme of bigger picture, I haven't really thought about it too much.
That's okay.
It's like coming back to that, not thinking too deeply, or we had that conversation about the other day.
But if you work hard and enjoy what you do, then
that's success.
But that's
just depends who takes that as.
But it's your answer, not someone else's.
Yeah.
Have you had a defining moment?
Not a big grand one, but a few times you kind of, let's say, not a difficult client, but something's just not clicking.
Yeah.
And then like that moment where they're like, oh crap, I understand now. Like, that little thing, those little things kind of build up in that one big thing, going like, what I'm actually doing is it's working, and it's making sense to them and making them better. So just, I think a lot of those little ones that may happen every day, happen every week, but build up over time. You're like, I'm actually doing something good here.
What's your greatest achievement?
Being able to manage 20 hours of uni, 10 hours of assignments, 50 hours of work, still play sport, still go out on weekends, still have Amy by my side. I'm going to go with that.
Yeah.
Just being able to live while doing all that for 2 years at least.
Do you think people need to check themselves a little bit when they say there's not enough time in the week?
Yeah. And I think same thing coming back to those little things again. Like those little things blow out to 2 hours at a time. Like, really, they only need to be 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's good. If money, and you gave a really good answer to this today. If money wasn't an issue and you couldn't fail, what would you do with your life?
Yeah. So something that I will do before my time on this earth is ended, I will hopefully visit at least 99.9% of the World Heritage Sites in the world.
Awesome.
So there's 1,073. Hopefully get to all of them, no matter how minute, small, boring, exciting they are. Get to all those, 'cause I think that's really cool. I really like history and heritage.
We need to print off a list and have it there.
Just tick it off. I used to have one on my phone. It was like the 250 most visited places or most visited landmarks.
Yeah.
And I think I ticked off like 80 at that stage.
That's cool.
And I was like 80. So like just the little things, there was heaps of stuff. I'd visit the world's 7 natural wonders of the world. So natural rather than built.
Mm-hmm.
Waterfalls, just big rocks, stuff like that.
Cool shit.
Yeah, just cool stuff. And there was one more. Who was it? Oh, I'd climb the 7 summits. Yeah, so the 7 tallest mountains on each continent. Oh, sorry, the one.
One on each continent.
Yeah, one on each continent.
Awesome.
And honestly, never done any of that stuff before. It's just something I want to do.
Yeah.
And I'll get it done eventually.
I like that.
Never hiked, never done anything like that. Missed out. So this comes out of my broken leg as well, actually. I missed out on all the outdoor end of high school.
Because you were,
Yeah, and my family's not the most adventurous or outgoing kind of family as some are that I know.
Yeah.
Like I always want to do that and just have it. And missing on that outdoor ed stuff, kind of, I haven't done anything since that as well. So
Yeah, well, I think the big thing, I'm someone that has dipped my toe in the water in terms of adventure and trips and hikes and stuff like that, and I love that stuff. And a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, I could never do that."
Yeah,
just got to do it. Just got to.
Oh, I'd love to do it, and I know I would love to do it, even though I haven't done it.
Grab a pack, put it on your back, and
just go walk
or kayak or ride or whatever.
Yeah.
But I after you said that today, that the seven highest peaks was what you wanted to do,
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not many people can say they can do it.
No.
There's a list. I found a list actually. There's not very many people.
No, there wouldn't have been. But that's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing.
And it's not for the achievement of doing it. It's literally just doing it and being able to experience that.
I think because achievement, I like the word achievement rather than success, and this comes from a lot of stuff I've talked to Greg about.
Yeah.
But if you achieve something, it means you've put in the work, you've done it,
yeah,
and you've experienced it. And I think that experience, that's the best part about it.
Yeah, I love experience things. Could be anything.
I have to do Everest next year.
Yeah,
definitely.
Fit that
maybe not to the top yet.
Maybe not.
Go to base camp first.
Yeah.
Tell me something very few people know about you.
I think I told you this, but I know most people don't know it. I got into high school, obviously being a very sporty person. I got into a music scholarship.
I think you only said this a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, you nearly went white when I said this.
What was the instrument of choice?
I played the trumpet.
You look like a trumpet kid.
And the reason behind this is I had a... Yes, I do. Yes, I'm just going to breeze past that. Hopefully no one sees my face. So the reason that I got into this in the first place was when I was 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I had like uber bad asthma, super bad asthma, and the doctor recommended obviously the inhaler and all that kind of stuff, but recommended playing an instrument of some type to teach my body how to cyclically breathe.
That's cool.
And got rid of my asthma. I have no form of anything anymore.
That's amazing.
Yeah, pretty cool. So pretty cool doctor. Couldn't tell you the doctor's name, where it was, but forever thankful.
Good from him or her.
So that's how I got into it.
If you could be remembered in one sentence, what would it be?
Someone that changed someone's life for the better.
Good. What advice would you give the 14-year-old version of yourself?
She's 14. What was I? Year 9, I think.
Before you broke your leg, right?
Yeah, before I broke my leg. Keep doing what you're doing. You'll get to where you want to be eventually. No matter what path you go or who you run into.
I like it. What are you most proud of?
Bit cheesy. I will say Amy.
Oh.
I know. Same thing, like, as I spoke about at the start, like, I'm not the greatest person at expressing emotion, and she'll cop the brunt of it, to be fair. And, like, she's one of the best, like, amazing humans that you'll ever meet. But I don't think she quite understands that from me. So, something like that. But other than that, yeah, just getting through uni degree and still being 20. Good. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like 22 when I finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 22 when I finished. Yeah, good. Way ahead. What do you, and this is the flip side of that question, what are you most ashamed of?
Ooh.
And you haven't heard some of these questions.
No. I like it. What am I most ashamed of?
It's an interesting one to think about.
Yeah, you can kind of go like one or two ways. Like, I have a love-hate relationship with failure. I hate being not bad at something, but not doing something to the best of my ability.
Yep.
But I also love it at the same time because it's a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
So that kind of comes back to it a little bit. But apart from that, maybe putting more time. See, I don't think to see that as disappointment. I was going to say putting more time into work rather than other things, but I want to do that, so that's fine by me.
Cool.
But I think other people may not see that differently.
Yeah, I get that.
Actually, I will go something. Not being home for dinner 5 nights a week. Generally, I love coaching and doing. I do as much as I can.
The hours isn't necessarily conducive to being home for dinner.
Yeah, and like not being able to sit at the dinner table with my family. Like sometimes I get home and no one's awake. Won't see it for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Just little things like that, but mum and dad are pretty good like that. They understand why, so it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, I think our families are pretty similar in that.
Yeah,
in that way. Do you have a hero?
I don't think so.
Well then, who do you look up to and why?
I'll go hero. I really growing up, Jim Steins was probably one like right up there. Obviously with the Reach Foundation, and they did stuff with Frankston as well, so he was probably right up there. Even like people that I haven't had the personal experience with, like Michael Ola from what was the movie? That's gonna drive me insane. Sandra Bullock. Blindside, yeah, favorite movie ever. That story of just like being. Growing up, not having everything, but just keep doing what he's doing, just in his own little world, and just being able to experience that, and then end up winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, like that's real cool. And like, yeah, they made a movie about it, but obviously I read a few other extra things, and just like his story it's really cool.
Awesome, good. What is your worst habit?
Not closing the cupboard. That'd be one for Mum. Worst habit for Amy. Oh, I've got a few. Where do I start? Heavy sleeper. Yeah, I snore. Amy hates that. I'm going to go with that.
Slept through your alarm a couple of times?
Yeah, a couple of times. Same thing. Not happy about that, but they happen. We move on.
What's the nicest thing that someone has ever done for you?
Anyone that gives up their time to help me in some form or another.
What's the nicest thing you've ever done for someone?
I saw that one coming. I think there's obviously really nice things that people do, that I do for people, but I like to do the little things, and not especially the people that I have any form of contact with. Little things just like holding the door open, letting someone go at the crossing, and like when I see people like run across the crossing, I'm like, what are you doing for? Like, I'm just letting you walk across the crossing. Like, you don't have to run. Like, I'm in no rush. It's just those little things, like hold the door open, let someone go across the crossing. You know, just say thank you. Just little things like that. Just being appreciative of just that.
I like that. What's the greatest piece of advice you've ever received?
It's a quote. It may have come from your mouth. Hard work has a funny way of paying you back.
Good. I like that.
Yeah. That still sticks in my brain every day.
So simple.
Yeah.
And that came from my footy coach. So taps, cheers to you.
There you go.
What's the greatest piece of advice you've given, or that you give regularly?
Keep doing what you're doing, because some way or somehow you'll get to where you want to be.
Good. If you could invite 3 people to dinner, dead or alive, who would you invite and why?
I'd go... just saying because I know him. I generally would have Greg. A wealth of knowledge, wealth of experience, anything and everything he'll have an answer for. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Who else? Let's go someone left the centre. I would have Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Good.
Same thing. Real cool dude, real smart, just so down to earth and so straight to the point.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that. Let's go someone not currently alive. This may upset a few people actually. I would generally have Adolf Hitler.
You're not the only person to give that answer.
Yeah.
Just to
just understand a little bit more. Like, obviously, during that time, everything gets written and, like, you don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah.
Could be, could not be. How
Interesting.
stuff is portrayed to us may not be how it actually happened.
Yeah.
And how he was as a person. Like, obviously, not a very nice guy, but...
It'd be interesting to hear things from his point of view.
Yeah, and just have him segregated from all that other stuff.
And if you realise that he is just a cunt, you can just neck him.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, you're not alive, so it doesn't matter.
You just bottle him.
You can be here in Ghost Ball, like, I don't mind.
Shit. That'd be interesting.
It'd be interesting, like, who are you as a person?
Yeah.
Are you really the biggest dick in the world?
I like that. That's good. All right, a couple of favourites to finish off. Favourite way to spend a Sunday afternoon?
9 o'clock wake up, couple of hours.
It's morning, mate, but yeah, carry on.
Yeah, I know.
Couple of hours?
Yeah, it counts, trust me. It counts in the evening. Always have coffee.
I think yours is going to be very similar to mine.
Yeah, I know.
Keep going.
I know. Just chilling out, doing something I enjoy. Could be just sitting on the couch doing absolutely nothing. Could be helping mum and dad renovate the house. Just something that I enjoy doing. And doing that for multiple hours.
Good. Very good. Favourite book?
Not the biggest reader, fun fact.
There you go.
Of books. Books.
Audio books or just articles?
I read a lot of articles and stuff like that, but I am very fidgety and can't sit still. Like, my keys are on the floor for a reason. Like, I just fiddle with things. Like, I can't help it. And sitting down and reading a book, I'm sure I would love to do. Yeah, like you're playing with scissors right now. Not everyone can see that. And I've noticed you doing that for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But sitting down and reading a book, I think I really enjoy, but I reckon I'd have to read one page at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you tried audiobooks? Properly?
Yes and no.
That's
but
been a game changer for me because I'm the same.
Yeah, yes and I have, but only earphones walking or something like that. Not sitting down and actually listening to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because you want to be doing other stuff.
Yeah, generally, and even from a young age, just not didn't enjoy it, just didn't find as much time as I would want to sit down and read a book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I understand the personal growth and everything that you can get from it, but for me, it's probably just not for me. And I'm sure I'll change, but for now, that's not quite.
You might get more boring as you get older.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get more boring though. I'm pretty boring now.
True.
I haven't done anything.
Yeah, you're doing stuff. You're doing
Stuff.
Favourite resource for new information?
Instagram, fun fact. Obviously, being a new age person, Instagram is a massive world.
Yeah.
Of just people. You could end up someone in Germany, and you have no idea who they are. But personal development stuff, like the S&C world, is full of coaches that use their Instagram, and just so much information out there. And the little save feature on Instagram, I use that for all that work stuff.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And majority of my Instagram is not people that I know or just people around the peninsula.
People you look up to.
Yeah, just people that I know that I can benefit from learning off.
And that's pretty cool because I definitely don't use Instagram for that.
Yeah.
There's definitely other areas that I get my information from, but it's cool to be able to see a picture, see a little bit of information, click on a link, dive deeper into that information.
Yeah.
Do you find is it hard to sift through all the shit sometimes, or you just don't follow the ones that you don't get a lot of value out of?
No, it's really easy just to scroll past it. If you read the first 3 or 4 sentences,
Don't like it?
yeah, it's okay, just go move on.
Carry on with your life.
Yeah, and don't dwell on it too much. And I like the visual aspect of it. I'm a very visual person, and I like to see things being done rather than understand it from reading something.
Yeah.
I think that's also coming back to that book stuff again. I'm very visual.
Yeah.
But being able to see it and then implement it 5 seconds later.
Yeah, that's cool. Definitely. And you can see, like, you see a video and then you go, well, that's why they're doing that. Let's implement it with clients. See how it goes.
Yeah, I often do it. Could see something the night before and use it the next day.
Yeah.
They have their set programs and everything like that, but in their rest times, right, let's go try this.
So you're subbing in for something that's going to give you the
same different, yeah.
That's cool. Now, this is basically an underarm throw for you to hit a 6 with this.
I'll still probably miss it.
Favourite person in the world?
Oh, I know who I should say. That's definitely Amy.
Good. That's all. That's the answer I was looking for. Finish off. Last one. Favourite quote?
Oh, I have like 20, and then as soon as I ask them it, I just forget them all. Obviously the hard work one, that's one, but we've already spoken about that. So
yeah, mate, can't double up.
Yeah, I'm not going to double up. I'm not that guy. There was one I read today that I really enjoyed. And for the life of me, I can't remember it now. It's written down on my phone.
Bummer.
I'm not going to get my phone out.
Bummer.
Can't be my favourite, it's not there. I think I do like a fair few on the walls at the moment.
At the gym?
I really enjoy the comparison as a thief for joy, obviously. Not for myself personally. Like I rarely compare myself to others. Like I'm my own person. Like I don't need to compare myself to others to get gratitude.
Yeah.
Nice little hit of dopamine. Like I don't need that. But for other people I can understand why that's so beneficial towards them. And often like if they're saying something, if I saw like one of my clients for example, who's currently seeing Ash and Maddie as well, she often will be walking in like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And like, I'll just point to the wall and be like, it's fine. Like, that's not for you. Like, you don't need to do that.
You do you.
Yeah, exactly. You do you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a pretty powerful quote and something that in the age of Instagram and Facebook and things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably one that can resonate with the most people.
Yeah.
Purely because it's such a problem. Mate, thank you very much. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Cheers to you.